In fact, when you are not like them, they will fight you to see that you're out of it.
You're out of them.
Because the system demands you to be like them. So if you're not like them, they will force you to see that you're out of. Good evening, our good listeners. This evening, we are with you once again. Together with me is Pastor Asaf Afuga. He's here to speak with us. Last week, we did actually talk about self-discovery, and we went into the details of what self-discovery is. We are still continuing with this topic this week. We hope to actually conclude it today and have another topic next week. But welcome aboard. Please enjoy. Tell a colleague, tell someone that the team, Pathway team, is in studio, and we are with you up to 9 p.m. Pastor, you will.
Yeah. Greetings, dear listeners. We are excited that you are part of us this evening. I want to reach my greetings to all people coming from different parts of Busoga and beyond. Thank you for encouraging us always. When you are there, we encourage it when we are in studio. We believe that whatever we share with you is doing some impact within your communities. Remember, we are doing a network of people who can become redemptive change agents. You become an agent of change where you stay, where you come from. But this may make you to think about what we normally share here. These words of integrity and issues of trust. It takes someone to think about it and to plan on how to change around so that we can also cause change within our communities. If we just listen and do nothing, nothing will change around us. But if we listen and try to put in action what we normally discuss about here, then there we can be able to change or to transform communities. Sometimes it may be a sacrifice. It may make you to sacrifice somewhere, somehow, to become an agent of change. Because if we all just look at things where they are moving, then nobody will come after we do the right thing until you started it in your area, in your house, at your workplace. You need to do something. Mr. Eno said you've been talking about corruption. You know, that's a very big word. I sometimes imagine in situations where we want to fight corruption.
Yeah.
And then it gets you tight
somewhere. You find yourself corruptible. At a point when you need not to really do anything. You know, Pastor, when corruption becomes institutionalized, you sometimes have very little to do at a point if you're to kind of salvage yourself out of the situation. I know even us who speak in studio, in one way or the other, we found ourselves in the act of corruption. Now, if this is happening, someone may ask, if this may happen to Innocent or Asaf, if this is happening to someone that has confessed to fight it, then who am I not to be corrupt? My brother or sister that is listening, what we are saying, I think, Pastor, you asked that question while we were still in office, that what do we do in such a scenario where you find yourself in a catch-24? You are either meant to give in a bribe to move out of the situation, or you die with the situation. What do you do in such a situation?
Where you even give a bribe before they asked for it.
Before they ask, you find yourself attracted. There's that attraction of ensuring that you pay something.
I've seen this in hospitals.
Gee, it happened.
I've seen it at police. It happened in hospitals, whereby people are forced to give bribes before they're asked for it. You go to a doctor.
Because two things. One looks at the time they will spend in a matter that they can solve with 10,000. Yes. For instance, one will think about how much it will take them to go around the entire process of maybe court and then reach out to the lawyers and, and it seems so easy to pick maybe 1 million shillings and pay off that person that they use the matter. You sort it out. In fact, one will say that when you pay a bribe, you save time. That when you pay bribe, you save time. They don't feel the pain, but it sets a standard. The bad thing with corruption, it doesn't understand who earns what.
Sure.
If one who gave 1 million to someone to access a job and the other person accepted that 1 million, it clearly sets a standard that this person, by all means, for whatever service that you will offer, will require a payment, whether from you who is poor or you who is rich. So the worst thing with a bribe is that it does not have a kind of, I could call it a face to determine whether so and so should give or not give. And the person who gets affected most is one who lacks. Because those that lack will only be facing it rough with the persons that are in positions of authority, those that have the money. And you're going to deny a service to individuals that have some contribution towards your being in that office. For whoever is listening to this and you picked a bribe today, seems like you give a bribe. It seems like I'm speaking in tongues. Whatever I'm speaking to is not to actually match with the Uganda that we have today. But Pastor, I always ask myself, if the clock stopped ticking today, shall we have stopped time?
No.
Time will pass and time will go. Because time, yes, it is measured by the ticking of the clock, not so? But that does not stop time. I want to tell you something. For you who thinks that the moment you accumulate all the money through bribes, that is going to be enough for you, that is not true. There is no amount of corruption, there is no amount of bribe that can cause satisfaction. It is not there. It is temporary. In fact, it is just something small, because for every bribe that I receive, it calls for more, for me to live a more lavish life, to live big, to live a life that the world will see. I've actually been all over everything. I'm so big, I have this, I have the other. But the good thing with living an upright life, a life of integrity, it brings what they call total satisfaction. Sure. That if I served one person without them paying me for the work that I've done for them, I feel I've given a service to the person that wanted the service. That is the beauty of being a partner.
We say that those who have the money should pay for the service, and those who don't have should be served at a free cost. Can there be justice?
It can never. As long as you allow the bribe in your life, you set a standard of what you're going to give. You understand? There is no person that takes a bribe that looks at any client that comes on their table as one that is not worth paying a bribe. That is one thing you should understand. That the moment the one that has money has quickened himself and given you the money, maybe you've done his paperwork and all that has been done, you expect the next person coming in to also do the same. It is not something, there is no shortcut, because you actually value everyone in terms of being a briber. That this person will also come and give me money. And remember that the needs and demand, actually the needs, not demand, the needs that you will have are going to be determined by how much bribe that you're being given. You even actually begin to put unnecessary expenses into your life, because you know by sitting in that office, by sitting in that position, someone will come in and give you the money.
Sure.
Yes, that is what you'll do. So as long as you open your door to be corruptible, okay, then it is very easy for you to see everyone that you come across as one that has the potential to give you the money. Let me tell you, those guys, any person that allows a bribe is one that believes that bribe is meant to be given to them, because this person needs a service. These are things that causes someone to be bribed. One, time shortage of time, I should say. Whoever client that comes in the office and they feel like they want things to move very fast, that is an ingredient that brings you closer to a bribe. Sure. As long as saying, I don't have time, I want to go very fast.
Which means we are the people who are causing.
We cause it because we are not patient. We are not patient. You reach a bank and all of you have lined up for a service. You get me? And then one who comes that is very fast, you know that he's going to give the teller 10,000 shilling. Or maybe this person has kind of over time done it. The teller will even see them from behind and say, in you come. And they will serve him first, or they will allow him to actually bypass whoever has been in the line so that they are served first. What has created that? Because the teller thinks that maybe this person that does not need to stay longer. And the whole issue about the time, I can equally harvest something from him. Sure. So I will spot the innocent man from the line and say, no, you come and I serve you. Because there is like a 20, there is like a 50,000. But you've not respected the people that have stood on the line for long. It actually brings about a delay. What causes a kind of a shorter time of service to me who has bribed you, create a longer time or period of delay for the rest that are staying around.
Let me bring an example. People, for example, who go get past when you put pressure on the people working on the passports because of time. If today you are one person, tomorrow you become 2, the other day you become 20, and then 1,000.
Yeah.
Of course, these people will lack what to do, and they'll start concentrating on people who are giving it money, because they are not giving them time to process. That is true. They just want things to be done. At some point, you may blame them. But again, we should also blame ourselves. This must be a collective effort where we all need to put ourselves in the same shoes here. This person I'm making to sit on the other chair for weeks, for months, waiting for this passport because they don't have money, and now they are not getting any chance to be served. Like, if you thought about it, but that, what if I was the one?
Oh, but Pastor, you know, some of these delays are done intentionally. Someone might create a delay to ensure that he actually gets something from those that don't want to delay. You understand? One thing that you must know is that some offices have staff that can work on the numbers. Okay? I'm not going to mention institutions, I'm not going to mention departments or agencies of government, but there are institutions that have staff where you don't need to delay. You understand? But the person will deliberately create the delay because out of the delay there is earning. When you delay at a point and another person needs you there and they become 20, they 30, 50, and there are many, this will justify the payment. That one who does not want to delay will say, okay, let me give in something for me to be worked on very fast.
Not because I want bribe.
Yeah, but I want to bribe.
Same time.
I want to save time. I don't want to take long in the queue. You understand? So, deliberately, you will not find things done the way they're supposed to be done. That is an African well-being thing. You'll find it in Uganda. You'll find it in other African countries, that someone deliberately makes you delay such that you understand the reason as to why you should pick money and pay them for that service.
Wow.
But if you went to a private facility, these corporate organizations, and you have so many people, they work under targets. You know, corporate organizations do one thing. They tell you the more people you serve,
The moment.
the more money we pay you. In fact, we want to see you close the day with a number of people. So they set what they call targets. So the person that is serving in a private organization is working against the numbers that they have actually put in place to achieve. But when this is not the case, no one is calculating your numbers, no one is bothered about your numbers, you will make them delay such that they pay you the money. And that is what really sometimes annoys me, because you paid for that job. You labored for that job. One other area that I might sympathize probably with the group that takes money from people is the question of who took the bribe first. How did this person get to this job? They got there through a bribe. So they bribed someone such that they got the job. After getting the job, they equally justify their bribing or picking a bribe on paying back what they got. But the unfortunate thing, even if they get all the money that they paid for their bribe, they will not stop getting it.
But what about in a situation whereby I don't want to take a bribe, but my boss is at my neck?
Yes, that you must collect for me enough. You must collect enough for me.
If I say I'm not ready for it, then it means you are not fit for this office.
Yes.
If you are not ready to take a bribe,
remember, while we were in office, I told you that from the discussion we had, I actually had a topic that I wanted us one time to actually talk about. The unintended consequences of being incorruptible in Uganda today.
I think, Mr. Anderson, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about that. Today in our country, Uganda, you have you that is not corrupt, you that does not take bribes. You have consequences that you're going to face.
Sure.
Yes. And in fact, because of corruption being deeply ingrained within our systems, our institutions, in our government, in our outskirts, in our earth, you find that it is so hard for one to uphold integrity in such a system. In fact, when you refuse to be corrupt or do a corrupt practice, you end up going to die, okay, lose your job, or get, segregated, or maybe
Left
out. But remember that these challenges are coming because of a system that has already eaten up our moral fabrics. You understand? A non-corrupt Ugandan faces the weight of the corrupt more in their positions, in their workplaces, in everywhere. Pastor, you know it very well that these people that are not corrupt are socially excluded. How? Individuals that are not corrupt are going to see to it that they are pushed out of the system. In fact, when you are not like them, they will fight you to see that you're out of it.
You're out of them.
Because the system demands you to be like them. So if you're not like them, they will force you to see that you're out of it. I'm just imagining that if a full Reverend Father was given a role to go play to go be maybe something like the anti-corruption officer in the government and blah, 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 or maybe a pastor, maybe a sheikh or anything, do you think he can win over the corrupt that are in the system? Yeah. Because what makes the other people he finds there to be strong is that they have power and they have money. And money can buy the system. If it can buy the system, then it can bring whatever that they want.
You are talking about system. Who makes the system?
Let's get back. Let's go for a short commercial break and get back. Members, we have a lot to say about the system. There are systems, of course. There is what they call the deep state. You've ever heard of that word? Yes. It's deep state. And in every institution, there is a deep state. Government institution, even at the local level, there is the deep state. Hey, you may find that someone is just a secretary, but he wields more power than the vice chairperson. That is the deep state. And you can't beat them. Wow. You can't beat them at their game. But we have come back and try to go deeper into this discussion. Let's get right back. Don't switch off your dial. To our listeners that are tuned in, we want to thank you once again for being part of the show. This Mother Them, we are Pathway for Integrity Network. We are here once in a week. That is a Monday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m., where we speak these issues of integrity. And today we have actually gone off a little bit in line with our topic of self-discovery, but it definitely works within because we find it so interesting to discuss something that is so practical. These issues of the bribes and what are practical. These are things that we are living with, and we want to demystify the talk that if you're not bribed, you cannot be rich. If you don't take a bribe, you can't actually get money. There are people in the world, in this world, that have actually lived a bribe-free life, very free life, called bribe-free, and life has gone on, That's one thing that we need to understand. Pastor, before we went for a commercial break, you actually asked a question, what is a system?
Yes.
A system is the driver, I would say.
I didn't create the system.
The driver, the driving aspect that pushes something in its positivity. I don't want to look at a system as something that is created the other way around. In a system, things are supposed to move in the right way. You understand? In fact, a system brings together so many things or so many people, and each one of the people in the system are working for a particular cause.
Let's say government
system, which has head of state. It has an executive, which is the cabinet. It has the parliament. It has judiciary. It has agencies and ministries and government that are doing work.
Which are set in the right order
to
do the right thing.
That is it.
To serve the people.
In fact, when you look at the purpose of putting up these organs of government, they are supposed to do the right thing, to uphold the positive role of the government.
Yes.
Okay? Now, within that system, this is now where we want to define the other aspect of the deep state that I talked about. Within the system, there are individuals that create things that work for them. And this is created by what we call the leader knowing that it is being created, or unknowingly around him, the people that he works with can create something that kind of brings a functionality of sorts that is not within the system.
They create another system within the system.
Yes. And remember, I was telling you that we can take an example of if I want elections as a district LC5 chairperson. Maybe I put in 1 billion shillings to become a district chairperson, or 500 million. My campaigners are supposed to be awarded in positions of responsibility. I should make sure they are somewhere in my government.
In the government system,
In the government system,
you create your own.
my own system. So he or she that was my campaigner, maybe chief campaigner, I'll bring them close to me in either working in my office as a personal assistant. I'll give them jobs as maybe district engineers, as long as they contributed towards my becoming what I am. And I'm building a system now. I think how that system is coming to be. Now, because I have brought people into my government that have a contribution that brought me into office, what they do, they now manage me.
You are managing yourself in a different system.
But now I have people that are managing me.
Managing.
They will manage me in which way? They will manage me in terms of knowing who should see me, where should I be, what should I know, and what I shouldn't know. That is how dangerous it is. And these are highly placed persons that will do all that it takes that I do not interact with the facts on the ground.
And if you go against that,
They will destroy me. I'm in a position, a very tight situation, that if I do not do what they want me to do, then they can destroy me. That is how serious it is.
wow.
In
The very people you brought for yourself.
I've now turned against. In fact, I will not even understand that they've turned against me. I will only be working under their supervision, under their tight supervision. And I may not also know that, in fact, I am being controlled by individuals. I may not know that. But because they clearly know what I'm supposed to have. And now, the moment they have totally controlled me, then they are at liberty to do whatever that they wish to do with now the people.
I can see a chain of position of authority.
Exactly.
You have the government system where it did for the government.
Yes.
But again, you have come in to create your own
system within a
team. Again, is that of
creating a system that is controlling me.
Wow.
This is not only in government. It can be in church.
Wow.
Where you have a pastor that is controlled by the church committee. He can't do anything outside what they say. He is only controlled by these people. He might even swerve away from the doctrines of the church. Because this team says, this is what we are supposed to do. This is us.
But we don't have such pastors in Uganda.
They are there.
In Uganda?
Yes, they are.
In Uganda,
yes,
own the church.
I'm telling you, you may be looking at them owning the church, but they are being owned.
Yes.
They are being owned. You don't know what happens behind the curtain. You don't know. Because there's a lot that is happening behind that handsome man that you see, behind that beautiful woman that you see that preaches to you. Because of a system. They hold it as tight as it can. They don't leak out information. There is no secret of the inner circle that will leak out to the people that they
How can you justify that when people these days say that churches are now family properties?
I can justify that. Because what you're seeing as a family property is just a small percentage of what I'm calling church. It's a very small percentage. And if you look at what we are talking about is, why have you seen the work of God not penetrating the souls of the people to turn around these people and believe and have the true transformation? Okay? Because we wish to have the true transformation. We want to see people transformed. If you sat back and listen to stories behind the curtain of what exactly happens with what you're terming as a family church, you will actually not understand what the world is after. Anyway, we might not go into some of these details because they are so much in line with, someone might think that we want to destroy their churches. No, we don't want. But we want to tell you that this is what has made it so difficult for our community to profess and confess integrity. Because the systems they are working into, one would ask themselves, if so and so can do that, who am I to do something different? Yes. Because they are seeing these things. Am I too righteous? Am I too righteous than so and so? Can I really confess that I am going to be more holier than so and so? And that is what is happening. So back to the system. When this system gets to control you or control me, who is at the center as the powerful person, it makes me become vulnerable. How? I may not know anything wrong that is being done outside. The system might control me for years, and I will not understand that this system is doing things that are wrong because they hide the wrongs and present to me things that seem to be correct. And the moment you wish to destroy this system that is around you, you who is in leadership, then that begins your journey of self-destruction. It takes determination, my brother, to see wrong things that are being done on the very angle and on a kind of repetitive session. And then you say, no, enough is enough. I must fight this and actually overhaul the system and bring things in the right direction.
You want to tell me that a person like our president right now, he may be having some pressures of certain systems that are created around him.
That's true.
Which he cannot directly fight.
That is true.
Because the moment he comes out for direct attack,
that is true.
They may go against him.
Very true. Wow. You see, Pastor, we are dealing with human beings. A human being is one pastor, I would call him creature, that is very fast at changing depending on the situations. We are not like other animals. In fact, we are more wiser than those animals. The Bible says so. So he will look at you, understand you properly, and then act according to how he feels things are supposed to be done. Depending on what happens to you, you must look for ways of becoming independent of your decisions. That is now what is going to take us to how we can overcome some of these challenges. The truth is, we look at the things on a daily and say, this is wrong. I don't allow this to happen to my child. I can't allow this to happen to my daughter. Let me bring you one example as we conclude this to go for a commercial break. Did you know that because of a system, something wrong can be changed to become right because of the system? A person who defiled a girl as young as 14 years can go to court and win a case of defilement because of a system. Are you aware about that? And you who didn't defile, they can actually, a case can be against you and you go to prison.
Because somebody take.
Because of a system. Because a system can understand and say, okay, now we are going to use this part because there is money, there is authority, there is power. Those are three. They are there within the hands of the system. So they will turn everything to do what is right or what is wrong, depending on when they want the right or when they want the wrong.
Wow.
So it is really so difficult. Because of a system, you can become the best student when you were at the worst for many years. Because of a system. That is how serious some of these things are.
Things are created to work.
You can create, a system can create success to someone. and disqualify someone based on what they have.
So that means systems are not only created in the governments, like you say.
Not government.
It is within us.
It is within us.
Within individuals.
It is an ill motive to destroy people.
Corruption is within individuals.
It is within individuals. It is within individuals.
We don't have even any reason for enabling
Nothing.
all of us.
The whole journey to fight this is going to be a self-check, an introspection. Where I am I doing what is worthy? Or I have destroyed the world using my position and power? Let's get right back. Now that we are done with the commercials, I want to welcome you back once again for our last segment of the Path-to-Tape Urban Ratio. Pastor, you wanted to ask the listener a question.
Yes.
In this situation now that we have stayed deep, institutional, deep states, what do we do to fight ourselves out of this?
What will be your best approach if we are all faced with a challenge?
Thank you so much, brother. That's what we've been saying about institutionalizing certain things, turning them into deep state. That is what
Personal favor.
Personal favors, and sometimes people want to benefit us or to other cordon. Please get in touch and contribute. What do we do in such a situation where we see things go the wrong way? The affected is definitely us who are served, isn't it, Pastor?
Yes. We are all faced with a challenge. So what must we do if corruption has affected everyone?
Personally, I think it starts with me. Besides looking at what others do wrong, what right am I doing as a person? In my capacity as a father, as a review manager, as a teacher, as a doctor, a nurse, or whatever that I am,
A business manager.
it has to start with me. Because we are not going to fight with you. The person that you're calling one that has a deep state around him started from somewhere. And that's where he is now.
You want also to include as someone giving you a bribe, when the one receiving it, still you bribe.
Two,
People need to think.
about we are, if I determine my aspect of being time conscious and not relate it with paying for that aspect of saying that now because I want to rush very fast, therefore I should pay for it, then I'm going to avoid paying a bribe. Some way
Is that all the normal process?
I'll follow the normal procedure. Then we should actually ask these tough questions.
If that thing's urgent, ready to be somewhere.
Urgent, the urgency means I came late. That is the meaning. When you hear of the word urgent, that I am urgently in need of this, just know that you woke up late to reach where you went.
You should wait like others are waiting.
Exactly. If all of us said that no, if it means staying longer, let's do it, but not pay someone for the job that they are paid for, that will be better.
Someone will say that I will miss a flight.
That is true. Cancel out the flight and save your country. Because the moment you pay a bribe for that passport, there's someone that you're going to disadvantage tomorrow. That
And
cannot about it way. Not one, not two. You're going to create a kind of business venture for someone to keep collecting money from others. There's nothing that is like it is urgent.
So it means this takes someone's sacrifice.
Exactly.
We're out to sacrifice.
We all sacrifice. It's going to take us time to sacrifice as a country, as a people in this country, for us to win corruption. Be it in a hospital. It's going to take people to die. We're going to ask hard questions. Say, no, madam, you're telling me to pay for this, but this is not a service that I'm supposed to pay for.